Let's have a look at how we can modify the audio settings to suit our specific hardware installation. While in program mode, let's select the settings icon and click on the audio submenu. The 6 icons we see here allow us to operate the full-featured audio mixing console inside the Liviau S. The 2 icons on the left represent the input sources and output destinations available to us. By clicking on one of the 2 buttons at the bottom of our screen, we can access the input or output list and change the names according to our specific setup. If we have a look at the input names list, we get an overview of all input sources connected to our system. We can see that we have 2 mics connected, a stereo CD player, a stereo DJ mixer. We can use the audio coming from an external stereo HDMI signal or the audio played back from within the Liviau S. The external HDMI signal can come from an external laptop, a DVD or a Blu-ray player, for example. The audio from within the Liviau can be audio coming from a video presentation or an audio file which are played back from the internal memory of the Liviau S, or it can be audio from the Liviau's integrated Spotify application. I'm gonna quit the input names menu and open the output names menu. So here we can define the names of our output destinations. In our example, we have a dining area and a lounge area, both of which have a stereo speaker system, a dance zone with a left-right subsystem, a zone with mono scening loudspeakers, and 2 outputs being fed back into the Liviau's integrated sound card. Now that we have defined the names of all connected input and output devices, those names are reflected elsewhere in the audio menus. Now let's open the input level window, which is the place where we can set the audio levels of all our input sources. The sliders can be used as level controls, and at the same time their colored background acts as a level meter for any incoming audio. The first thing we're gonna do is have a look at the STR tick boxes down here. STR stands for stereo, and those tick boxes allow us to link the controls of 2 sliders which represent the left and the right side of a stereo pair. So for all inputs being part of a stereo pair, we'll make sure the stereo tick box is checked. We're gonna quit the input levels menu and do the same thing in the output levels menu. So right now, we have named our inputs and outputs and defined which ones belong to a stereo pair. The next step will be to open up the routing matrix and define which inputs should go to which outputs. So if we know that the audio from the DJ mixer should never be played back through the dining, the lounge and the ceiling speaker systems, we can make those settings here. Then how does the routing matrix work? What we see here are all our input sources, as they will be sent to one specific output destination. The destination is clearly indicated at the top of the window. Other destinations can be chosen by swiping the screen or clicking on the top corners. Using the sliders, we can simply decide which inputs will be sent to each specific output. Slider settings can be either fully on, fully off, or any value in between. For stereo outputs, we will need to make sure that the left output is being fed only from the left inputs and that the right output is only being fed from the right inputs. For mono outputs, those can be fed from both the left and the right inputs. After having made all the correct routings, we have finished the necessary steps to make sure we can start using audio. Extra features which we might want to use are equalization of inputs and outputs, filtering of the output frequency range, and limiting the maximum level of outputs. Those features will be discussed in another instruction video.